Listen, I'm going to tell you a story about hope. Well, it's a story about losing hope. It's a story about losing everything and everyone you ever loved. Even the people you didn't know you loved until... Anyway, the point is that this is big. I've got so much to tell you, I feel like I could have forever and I wouldn't have enough time. I guess it's kind of like life that way. But this story is nothing like the life you've known before. This is a story about magic and monsters. It's about knights and dragons, witches and kings. It's about life and death and dreams and love and everyone who's ever hidden in the dark where you think they can't see you. Yeah. Me too. I think sometimes things get so bad you become convinced that the only way out is to burn it all down and try again. Let's start there.
Greetings! Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to what I suspect is going to be for me at least, a fairly low energy stream, but I think it's still going to be a fun time. Let me just fire on over. Hello, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming along and tuning in tonight. Um, the same thing happens that every time I set up the lighting, so it's great. But then by the time I actually come back to this screen, the sun, the lighting has changed. The sun has gone down, so it's all out again. But that's all fine. So hello everybody. It's so good to see so many people in chat already. Just a bonky. Hello. I hope that O face was not an O face. That surprised face was for something good, not something going wrong while I was in the bathroom. Um, Hi Nimsy. Hello Meadowsweet and Magic. Wait, I'm not the streamer. I'm not supposed to chat. I'm not supposed to say chat. I think you can say chat. I really like how people have, but I really like this new thing where people are sort of referring to using chat in the real world as like a sort of gender neutral way to describe a group of people. I've started saying that. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. There's no rules. Um, Brett38, hello. Meadowsweet Magic, hello. Excited for the stream. Wonderful. Brain dead. I'm brain dead from studying OChem. Oh my goodness. I hope that is going well. The exam is 10 hours. Some say it's going great. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know any of the answers. I wish I did. If I did, I would tell you. I'm sorry. I don't know. River Second Wife. Hello. Good to see you. Karao Kunzite, thank you so much for doing this as a visual artist. It's really lovely to see the process of other kinds of art. Well, thank you so much. That makes me happy to know that it's an interesting thing for people who are not necessarily sound designers or musicians or anything like that. So welcome in, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are halfway. This is episode 3 of 6 of this new audio drama that we've been editing over the past couple of weeks. The previous 2 streams are now up on YouTube, so if you missed one or you want to catch up and you want to see this whole thing come together, you can catch it there. So just to kind of catch you up on stuff. So there was no stream on Monday because I double booked myself. I booked tickets for something ages ago and then forgot about it, and then I realized that I had tickets for a thing on Monday. But it was good. I went to a comedy gig. I had a really good time. But then yesterday, Tuesday, I just had this all day head cold thing. Enwich Cat Possum, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome in. You're just in time. Good to see you as always. But yeah, so all of yesterday I was just not feeling very well at all. I was just sniffly and sluggish, and I had a sore throat. It was just not the big C, thankfully. Not the big C. Not COVID, thankfully. Low spoons? Not quite low spoons. Just I think I was ill yesterday, and I think I'm still not quite back to 100% today. But I really wanted to do the stream. I have if you have a noise gate on the mic, I'd argue it's a little aggressive. We can all hear your words, but to me it sounds like it tapers off too quickly. That might be the specific mic I'm using, just because I'm talking, but I'm also turning, which might be the thing. I do need to figure this out, but there's been something awful going about recently. There has been. Yeah, that could do it. Yeah, so I swapped out. I had a condenser microphone on my desk, but I swapped it out for a directional one. So it might just be me turning. Your sad is mad ill. Bad 90s slap. Thank you, Nimsy, for saying get well soon. I do feel fine, but just the energy might be a little bit lower than normal today. But to counter that feeling of being slightly off, we will have a guest potentially joining us later today. It will be a star of stage, screen, and darling of the airwaves, Robyn Holdaway, who is our main voice actor in this new show. I believe it was this one. Yeah. So Robyn might be joining us in a bit. It's okay. I'm literally in bed. I mean, I'd argue that's the best place to watch streams is in bed. Best place to listen to audio drama. Best place to listen to streams. But the the cool thing about tonight's episode, the episode we're going to be making today, and the the episode we're editing today is that it's kind of already half made, sort of, sort of. Um, so to kind of give you a little bit of background on how this series came together. So I wrote it, and then I was kind of like, right, I've written the whole series. I think now is a good time to start, sending it out to people and start sending it to the 4 or 5 people I send projects to basically be like, is this any good? Is this a thing worth doing? Um, and if you are a fan of Camlin, then you will know exactly who all these people are. Um, now cast the cat. Well, the cat is the cat is in it. Poppy is in this audio drama. Um, but yeah, so I kind of wrote it, and then I kind of realized that like quite a lot of my ideas, the script doesn't work on its own. I was very much just like, there's no way for me to communicate what this is going to sound like without just making it myself. So at its very earliest, this series was this episode. I made episode 3, which is the episode we're going to be doing tonight. So I made it, I recorded it myself, I did all the voice acting. And then when I had that, I could send it off to people, kind of being like, "This is what it's going to sound like." Obviously, it won't be me doing the voice lines, but I'll get an actual actor to do it. But this is roughly the sound I'm going for. So we kind of have half an episode already, um, which is interesting, and it's kind of fun. Um, but there's also a lot of things we need to change. So this was like before you with funny voices and puppets. It was it I'm not a voice actor. um but yeah, so the idea was that I just make this thing so I had an example. um but this is before I'd done any of the editing on stream, so a lot of the sounds we're going to have to replace. A lot of the so I've copied the sound design over from that little demo, because we're not going to listen to the demo, because nobody's ever going to listen to that demo because it's not very good. um but it means the opening is kind of all designed already, and the rest of it we need to kind of bring in some of the sounds that we've made already, to do kind of things. And also the demo script was slightly different to the script that I ended up recording with Robyn. um so yeah, so it kind of it's an exciting thing to do. It's an exciting. Sorry, if I seem distracted, it's because I've currently got the stream also on in the Camlin cast and crew Discord that we used for the Camlin streams at the start of the year, and I keep getting messages from different members of the cast going, "Is there a Camlin thing on tonight? Is there something else going on?" I also got a message from Ross basically being like, "Ooh, this is very tempting." So if you're wondering if the cast and crew of Camlin are still the same outside of the streams, they are. Um, but um, before we get into the new episode, I did do a bit more editing on the episode we edited last week. Basically, I kind of went back and just did some tightening, did some kind of twiddling, and then also went back and revisited like the voice sound, the kind of voice coming through the radio. So I'm gonna put episode 2 on to kind of get us back into Be Glad to Buy Us at the theater tonight. Thank goodness. Just running in and hitting the air horn sound effect and then running away again. But yeah, so we're gonna listen to it to kind of get us into the headspace of this series before we dive into episode 3. So this is episode 2.
I don't miss you. I want to make that really clear. I don't miss you. I don't know where you went or why, but I don't miss you. You said that we were done. You left. So I left.
I believe we are joined by a Robyn. Hello?
Hello. How are
Hello.
you doing?
I'm good. Oh, it is so good to hear from you.
It's lovely to hear from you too. It's delightful that the technology's all working. I'm so glad.
I mean, for now. Like,
for now, touch wood.
We'll see where we're at. Can everybody double audio? Okay, clearly I have got something else going on here. Oh yes, I know what I've
That's
done.
exciting.
That should help.
Hello. I need to do the talking thing.
Yes. Is that better? So I realized what the problem was the last time that happened. So hopefully I fixed it.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Yes. Hello, chat. I can't believe I actually get to say that. Hello, chat. Oh, Fifi, no. Oh no. I thought we could get away with this. Oh no. Life imitates art. Hello. No, still doubled apparently.
Still doubled. That's very strange.
Hello, Fifi.
Hang on. What's going on? Oh, what have I done? Why is that? Double Robyn. What have I? That's
Well, you're very quiet now.
Sorry, I'm muttering to myself as to.
That's all right. It's the only way to get sensible conversation, especially when I'm on the line.
Okay. Has that done anything to help? Is that helping at all?
Hello, that means I need to talk. Hello. Am I still doubling? I'm still having to do the amusing thing of
Why is that
hotspotting my phone.
double audio and Amber on my side and pretty clear, Robyn? Okay, so I think Amber, you're quiet, but all good. Right. I see what I've done. Yep. Okay. Basically, what I've done there is I had muted the wrong track, but we should be fine now. I should be back to being loud and grating and annoying.
None of those things.
Golden, fantastic.
None of those things. No, I'm sorry. I'm slightly delayed, team. I teach boxing of all things, or I teach box fit on a Wednesday. So I needed to get home and eat some dinner, and then yes, watch my wife play the Satisfactory update that exists.
Ooh, there's an update. That's really cool.
Yeah, there's an update. It's now officially released, Satisfactory. I feel like that's something you'll all enjoy. I feel like this is a safe space for me to say that Satisfactory is an excellent game. Lovely.
Thank you so much for jumping on tonight, by the way. Like, I'm aware it was very last minute.
No, it's fine. Thank you for having me. I've always said that I'm always happy to haunt your streams. Yes. I have no webcam though, so no. Well, I do have one, but I can go get it if you all desperately need to see my face.
No. I think we're fine. Just I'm very aware that like for things like the listen alongs, I was kind of like, okay, we can have multiple cameras on at once, because it was just a case of like, just playing an audio file. Whereas like if I'm doing audio editing work and having Discord open and also having a stream running through Discord, I'm just like, I don't want to like overload the internet.
I completely understand. Like I say, I'm having to I was about to say hotbox my phone. That's not what I mean. Hotspot my phone in order to get Wi-Fi upstairs. Although I think you'll all enjoy the knowledge that I've started making my little audio booth, and it's becoming more and more like a den. I've got like this little I don't know. It's a clothes rail I use for some TikTok background stuff, because for some reason I do that now. But I have to duck under it and like through this piece of like a throw that a blanket. So I need to sweep the blanket aside and then crawl into my like tiny little voice booth, and that's where I am now.
That's incredible. Like, yeah. I have the opposite problem. I haven't talked about this on stream yet. All of my doors are gone. All of my doors have been taken away, other than the bathroom door. The bathroom door is still here, but all the other doors have been taken away. Because so we've been having, basically we've lived here for maybe 6 years now, and clearly when they did a paint job in between tenants, they didn't paint the doors very well, so the paint has started like peeling off the doors in the flat.
Yes.
I think you might have seen a bit of it, Robyn, when you worked for Camlin. Like, just like the doors were
only little though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can assure everybody that your house is lovely. It's very, very nice. There's a lot of excellent posters.
Thank you. There are many, many, many more since you.
Oh,
Since
I should
you were
probably
here.
say people assuming it's tiny. So I've just got a room that I have sectioned off a corner of. This is entirely of my own making. I've just I also it was like, I need this to feel a little more clearly. I don't feel at home in too much space, but it is also to do with soundproofing, and because I need to have a way that I can kind of record. If anyone's interested and does from the acting perspective of sound recording, because we probably should talk about that, having a home studio set up, it's you obviously need to have access to your computer and your inputs and everything else. So at one point I was tempted to try and see if I could. I've got a cupboard next to this room, and I wanted to see if I could set up like the recording section in there, and then open it through and have it go through, and then have my computer and things in here, so you couldn't hear the fan. And then I realized there are electrics in the wall. So I thought, I could just make like a tunnel through, and then we could put like brush or something there and just put the wires through for sound. It all got very complicated because it turned out that when we recorded this Hello Earth, you were like, oh, your sound sounds so good. And I'm like, I have done so little. I just have these panels. So I need to keep working on it. But yes, there's a few different ways. But I think in our natural habitat, audio voice actors, we need to be in small boxes.
Yeah, we just enjoy the enclosed dark space. It's like a sort of cat in a box.
Yes, absolutely.
Enrich Cat Possum
Anyway.
says that they wanted to learn boxing once. So do you have any?
Well, I teach box fit, so it was an interesting. It's kind of like a fitness class. You've got people are wearing pads and gloves, so you are actually, but no sparring or anything like that. I've never sparred because I like my face, and I don't know. I also feel like I'm quite light and small. I'm not like Perry. If any of you are Camland listeners, I think Perry could actually take a punch. I can't. I think if you punch me, I go to Constitution is I put all my stats in Dex and some in Wisdom, and Constitution is terrible. So yes. Anyway, I don't spar, but I do enjoy it. It did mean though that I do have quite a few opinions on boxing, and there was a time recently in the news media that you may have been aware of where a certain boxer had a lot of attention on her. So I ended up making a few videos and having to explain to people that. Oh God, that yes, doing some things about women and sport and all the joys of that.
Nimsy is suggesting to maybe try wearing full armor.
Once again, I would wear full armor, but again, people assuming I have the strength for heavy armor. No, I'm only in leathers at my best. Boxing and plate mail. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, I think if you're interested in kind of the historical stuff, do have a look at some TikToks. They show people like running obstacle courses in actual armor because it had to be flexible. And this is the thing: is it's a misnomer to think it was very rigid. This is the way that plate mail and another lady who's very keen. I appreciate people with a good hyperfixation, and hers was clearly on armor, and she was talking about how the leather armor we see in fantasy games that sort of mimics plate armor, you wouldn't have had it. You would have just had there was leather armor, but it looked very different. So you would have just had plate because it would have been so much better. Anyway, I can talk far too much. Should we talk about this?
Yes. Let's talk about this thing we're making. I was saying before you hopped on that the interesting thing about episode 3, which we're going to be doing today, is that like kind of half of it's sort of already done. Because this was the episode that I did for the proof of concept.
Oh yes.
So basically I just copied the sound design over and kind of plonked it in. But so I think the kind of first bit's sort of done already. But then like the second bit is when we're kind of back at the radio station, and we need to put all the sound design in that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks because we've now designed that space.
Yes.
Chat is saying your voice is great and you should be a voice actor.
Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. This is to be fair, I am doing my best podcast voice. I feel people need to know that if you edit in Premiere Pro, the Adobe one, because I finally conceded that HitFilm could not cope with what I needed it to do. But there is a podcast voice setting. And now I don't know what that is. Amber, you might be able to tell me what is it boosting and what is it cleaning? I mean, it's the one it kind of just I think it probably boosts some of the lower frequencies and takes out anything else. But yes, there is a very specific type. I can make it very different. That's the joys of voice acting. But yeah, this is my evening podcast. Easy listening. Everything sounds very nice like this.
It's the shipping forecast voice. That's the.
Oh yes. Well, no, the shipping forecast has to be a little bit more clipped, and everything has to be very clear. I can change it. We can do different voice. If you want, you can also if you put on a northern accent, it's that's why mums go to Iceland. You know,
Oh wow.
it's the what is it? Low prices every day.
Yeah.
That's our price promise. To be fair, I think Lou does the Tesco adverts. I'm not going to lose a friend, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's this interesting thing with like I think it's something that I've definitely learned in the few kind of the few years where my career sort of got to the stage where I'm working more and more with like professional voice actors, which is not to disparage like hobbyists or amateurs, but it's just like it's like particularly recording voice reels and having like I think that the fun one was so for Sassy Catastrophe, thank you very much for the 5 months, I beg your pardon. Thank you so much. Incredibly kind. Also, hi, Sassy. I hope you're doing okay. But yeah, so during when we were recording Camlin, we had like a day off in the middle of the recording session.
We did, and we went on an adventure.
We did. We went to the Kelvin Grove Museum, which was marvelous.
So nice. And I've got a very fun picture. I've got some fun pictures of that day.
Oh, wonderful. But in the morning, so Tobias had a self tape come through.
Oh yeah.
And like he'd brought his like his microphone and stuff to record in the hotel. I remember him saying this to me, and I was just kind of like, just come and record here. like we have a whole studio here
set up.
And he was very nice about it. He was very kind of thankful and apologetic for it. But like it was for like I don't, it wouldn't have been for Space Marine 2, which Tobias is in.
I know what it was for. Yeah, no,
it would have
been
it was a similar like very
something
like,
else
SWAT team commander thing. But it was just very strange having Tobias, who throughout that week had been, die, and then coming in, just hitting record, and then all of a sudden became this very like gruff action game voice. It was incredible.
The one I you're gonna hate it. It's the one I do. It's the one that I can do a generic dubbing anime boy sound, and I can make this sound go on for a while. Pikachu, or more like Deku. It's that thing. I know, right?
It's so up against the compressor, right? That's awful.
Yeah. Mokuba! Yeah, it is. It kind of is. And since I'm a child billionaire with a multi-million-dollar company to run, I clearly have nothing better to do than play a children's card game. That's a throwback. But yeah, it's when I teach voice acting, I teach that there's a variety of different types, and if you haven't got a particularly flexible voice, I call it sort of the cartoon flexible voice, because some voice actors never have to do it. They just have I would voice some of these, and yes, it is. It's referencing Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, which ironically I loved as a kid, because it's probably a very good example of what I'm about to say, which is some voice actors do loads of voices, and they have really elastic voices. And that's very helpful for things like cartoons. It's also very helpful for audiobooks. Like I've just done an audiobook where, again, I'm playing knights and nerds. I've talked about this before, and nerdy knights, but this was Arthur and all his knights and various other people. But you have to be able to do all these voices, and for audiobooks it's a bit different because all the voices have to be realistic. Like you can't do the anime boy voice, but you can make your voice sound slightly lighter and soft. Or I'm trying to think of some of the voices. I had one that was more infomercial. Arthur and the knights are all infomercial voices. Or I had to be fair, I had so many characters. I had a lot of, generic sort of northern sounding peasants, that kind of thing. And you do have to be able to make it realistically sound like these different voices. And so when I'm teaching kids, I do sort of encourage, there are various ways you can change it. I won't do a full voice session on your Twitch, but it can be incredibly helpful, and especially if you're a mimic. So if you're somebody, Tobias is such a mimic. He can perfectly mimic people's voices and character voices, and it's such a useful skill. He's got such a good ear. And we were very odd on the train back and forth from the studio, just making noises at each other and working out what we could do, because there's the difference between actors who have a testosterone-fueled puberty versus those who don't. So a lot of the boys, if you hear a boy's voice, it will be somebody who has not gone through a testosterone-fueled puberty, because our voices are more consistent. And if you're doing a series for however many years, Nancy Cartwright's been Bart for however long, and her voice will never break unless she goes on T, full respect. But so, and again, it's so what Tobias and I can reach pitches he can't, and vice versa. I struggle to make those big booming kings. I mean, I've got thankfully quite an androgynous voice. I'm very grateful for it, but there's some really big, I just don't have the equipment or the thickness in my vocal folds to be able to make those noises, and vice versa. But then there's a whole other side of voice acting, which is just your voice. And that's for, commercials. And I can change my voice to sound like I'm selling something. Or I can change it to make it sound very trustworthy and friendly. It's still my voice, but I'm changing the tonality rather than, say, the accent or the pitch or anything else. So, something I'd encourage any of the chat listening to this, I'm so sorry, this has been such a long rant, but I feel like it's quite important, is
okay.
if you're interested in voice acting, like, you don't feel like you do have to be able to do lots of things, but it will help. And it is a skilled profession. And if you're wondering whether it's not or not, like I say, for audiobooks, you are sitting on your own for 7 hours talking to yourself, sight reading a book, doing so many different characters, and it is such a skill. And that ability to just pick up and go is something it's taken practice to be able to do. And yeah, that's just what I want to say on that one is, a lot of people think they can do voice acting, and I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying they might be able to do 1 or 2 really good characters. But if you are genuinely interested, then you need to train, because after 7 hours, your voice will be gone. And, the moment you've got a character of a different accent and you're like, well, how do I change my voice? I had to be a room full of very posh men, or British upper class, and I had to find a way to change my voice to make them all separate and distinct. Bearing in mind, like I say, I haven't got access to all of those lower registers. That scene then descended into an orgy, because that was the book I was reading. But anyway, that's a lot of things I've just said. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm going to shut up now and talk about this. But there you go, a little 10-minute rant.
Nimsy, the what museum? So there's a museum in Glasgow called the Kelvin Grove Museum. It's kind of one of these wonderful big Victorian museums. They have a pipe organ and they do recitals every day at 1:00. It's delightful, and it's not too far away from where I stay. So it's always a good place to like take people on a day out. And yeah, it's Ross and I were just like, this is a good place to take people on our day off, which was lovely. Mecha Moira, hello, welcome in. Ollie, hi, welcome in, Ollie. You haven't missed. We're just getting comfortable.
You missed my rant about voice acting. Oh, and I can. Big brother, is it time for my cameo yet? There you go. That's such a specific reference. I'm just going to see how many I can get into this Twitch stream. I very regularly find myself quoting Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series and not realizing where it's from. In America. So let's continue.
Yes, let's get to it. So, yeah. So I said earlier on that the sound design for this episode, half of it's kind of already been done, which is cool. So it's kind of going to be interesting, sort of sticking that in. But I do want to have a quick re-listen to episode 2 just to kind of get us into the spirit of the thing, and also because I've done a bit more tweaking on episode 2 since editing it. So Robyn, I think if you've listened to the version that's in the folder, it's different from this one because I keep tweaking the voice, the radio voice. I keep being like it's not quite right, but I think I've landed on something that I really like. So we're gonna play the episode, we're gonna listen to the episode, and then we'll get on to episode 3. Oh, actually, I'll turn this up on your end.
I don't miss you. I want to make that really clear. I don't miss you. I don't know where you went or why, but I don't miss you. You said that we were done. You left, so I left. I'm not looking for you. I'm not looking for you.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Never once been fed. Not in all your born days. There you go. I'm not heating it up. Scotland actually has quite a long history with UFO sightings. Lights over Edinburgh Castle, dark oblong shapes moving over Glasgow.
Yes, Scully is Poppy. That's a
Disappearance from
catastrophe.
farms in the Highlands.
I did record
Strange
some Fifi, but I
figures in
think
the Outer
Poppy is
Hebrides.
a stronger choice.
Yes. I wanted Scully to be
UFOs
old,
aren't
like
really my
and
speciality.
scratchy old.
I'm more interested in extraterrestrial communication.
It's easier for me to talk about this than myself, or anything that actually matters, or is real.
I know sending out messages from an old abandoned radio station is not quite the Arecibo Observatory, but Scotland is small. We take what we can get. Do you ever think about space? I don't mean like the final frontier. I mean actually being in space, floating above yourself, above the world, above everything. Like imagine being able to take one hand and blot the world right out of sight. Sounds kind of nice, doesn't it?
Sometimes I just want to be left alone.
Oh,
I remember stumbling upon this place one day while hiking. I remember geeking out about how cool it was and wondering if it still worked. I always wanted to come back.
But I never did. I came here not long after you left. After I left.
I didn't really know why at first. I just wanted to be away from everyone. I needed to be high up, away from people, away from life. I couldn't blot out the world, but I could blot myself out. Leave myself to the stars and float above myself, above everything, and try and see what else is out there.
oh, fantastic! Hi, mysterious. Welcome in. Welcome. Cat interactions, my beloved. As one does speak to cats, nailed it. Yeah, we spent an awful lot of time on getting the cat interactions right.
Well, I think we just literally, you just said, can you just talk to the cat a bit? And I
Yes.
just started going off on one as I talked to Fifi, which is, no, honey, no, just, no, because the joke is every morning we wake up and the cat is obviously yowling for food. And I turned to my wife, said she's never been fed. And my wife be like, not once, not in all her born days. And we just, this banter you have with cats and like, I'm not heating it up. No, Fifi, it's that. Golly.
Oh, it makes me happy that's made it into the
Yeah, me too.
the thing. I recognize those glitch sounds. Yes, those are from the electromagnetic fields I recorded with my Electrusy microphone. Which- that
Mhm.
is in fact
Did you
what
just
it
say
is called.
electricity?
Yes, so it's it's a company I think called Lom, and they make weird microphones. And one of the microphones that they have, it's a stereo pair of electromagnetic sensors.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can bring one up for you. Um, so like if you point them at different devices, you get a signal. So for instance, this is what happened when I pointed it at my Nintendo 3DS.
Ooh.
Like these weird sort of
You know,
electronic sounds.
if you do this at the wrong corner of the internet, they're going to start saying you've got auras. They're going to
Yes.
start talking about the vibrations of the universe. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying biblically accurate electric. Yes.
Sounds kind of like how a guitar pickup will act when close to electronics. It's kind of the same principle, but like I tell you what, give me just I'll get the. Hang on.
I'm vamping while Amber is currently off screen.
So
And I can tell you the other thing.
hang on. So let me go back to the full thing. So this is what it's called. Like, so I put this up on the internet, and everybody commented saying electricity. Electricity. That's what it's called. I wasn't making it up. Like everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, no, these all sound really really good," but also electricity. It's just ugh. Um. Oh, cool. Would this be like good for EMF sound for ghost detection? That's very much like I use them a lot for like folklore and middle below, and anytime where I needed a spooky sound, they're really handy. Right clicks and renames the folder name electricity.
Incredible. I have a question on so it sounds like interference to me. Obviously this is interference, but what is it, what is that? Like I am a fool of many things. Like if I've got my phone next to me, not in airplane mode, and I'm trying to record, we get the lovely sounds of screeching.
Oh,
What's
like
what,
you mean
yes.
like the kind of
Yeah,
sounds?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the phone signal kind of interfering with like amplifier outputs and stuff. Because like
Ah.
close that door.
I feel
Um,
like I need the chat to know that I know so little about this side of things. I've really enjoyed watching your streams because I have been learning so much.
oh, thank you.
And it's helpful again from the acting perspective to know what goes into it. And to be able to hear you did, because I obviously listened to this episode they're about to do now. I'll give you a segue. I did listen to your sort of what did you call it? Not preview,
The
your
proof of
proof of
concept.
concept. Proof of concept. And I did listen to the music. The music that you have sent me is now rewiring my brain, which I enjoy very much. Is it breakbeat? What was it?
break beats and breakcore music.
Break.
Yes.
We've got to be careful. Breakbeat, not yes. But and my brain said Breitbart, and I'm like, that's not
No.
what that means. Dyslexia is a very yes. Homonyms, which that isn't. Hate. So bringing my brain back into my body, but yes. I had a point. It's gone. So let's just continue.
Okay.
Yes, it's rewiring my brain. Thank you, chat. It's so helpful to have that sort of vibe when you go into something like this because you get the feeling of it, if that makes sense. Because you've written this is beautifully written,
Thank
and I actually didn't really need to do much. I just sort of read it in the vibe, and yeah,
it was
we
a
got
very
this.
much vibes based recording session, which is lovely. I loved
It was.
But yeah, Martin, hello, welcome in, Martin. Good to see you drop by. Little antenna, a little bit, yeah. Like they sort of like it's fun to have them on the train and have them plugged into like a little stereo recorder and just picking up lots of different sounds. And they're all terrifying to listen to. The man, oh no, this is Martin Ostwick. I've probably said that wrong. I'm so sorry. Of the Fantastic Illusionist podcast. And many others. Audio is vibrations, podcast is vibes, totally vibes based podcast. I mean, like it's wonderful to like I don't know about you, Robyn, but like I feel like it's like when I am directing something that I've also written, I do tend to be more vibes based. I don't know how like normal or usual that is, but like when we were recording the tower, it was very sort of like sort of slightly less, not very specific directions. It was much more just like maybe just a little bit slower, a little bit more wishy-washy, a little bit lighter.
It's that it's hard to say. So I think that when you've got a very commercial audio work where you're, especially if you're going for a client and they have a very specific idea, especially if they're trying to sell something and have a very specific idea of what they want, then you do it. But something I find, and this is something I find very hard to teach, which is why I don't generally bring it up, is you kind of feel it when it's right. Something that frustrates me sometimes doing audio drama when I have other people there is that when you're not doing audio drama, you do something like games or audiobooks, you can pause yourself and you can repeat and you can do multiple takes of a line just wild because you can go, nope, that stress was wrong. And the moment you say it out your mouth, you hear it. And if, like me, you grew up not listening to music but audiobooks and The Archers of all things. No, I didn't listen to it that. But like literally, I was not into music. My ear was actually very bad. I'm still trying to train that. But I know, and we all grow up listening to people talk, and we know where the stress and emphasis should be, almost automatically and subconsciously. And you know when you do it if it sounds right or if it sounds wrong. And in a podcast like this as well, there's two things. One is that your voice is part of the musicality of it. It is part of a symphony, and you are just a line that is playing. And you need to know you're probably the leading line, as it were. A lot of things are moving around you, but you do have to keep in tune and in with the vibe of it. And then the director is more of a conductor, letting you know when to go and when not to. And obviously, it's made in the edit. It's made when the filming thing is it's made when you write it, it's made when you film it, and it's made when you edit it. It's 3 different films. And the same is true, I think, of audio. The other thing is, again, this is a experience thing of, again, despite my baby face, I have been doing this for nearly a decade, and it's you sort of learn how to use your voice as an instrument in terms of things like resonance. And when somebody will say to you, make it happy, make it lighter, often what they mean is take out the chest resonance and pick up the pace a little bit and add a smile. Like that's what they're actually asking you to do. But when, like Amber and I've worked together before, and I sort of know how to translate your language, and if it's going sort of more, I don't know if you were going to say just take it more wistful, or no, I think it was awestruck. Actually, in this we hear it. It's the
yes.
The space. What's the line about space?
Do you ever think about space?
Yeah, and you said to me, you want that more awestruck, and I know translating that, I know what awe sounds like. For instance, it's the. Do you ever think about space? And you have this moment of it affects your pace, and you're doing a lot of very technical things, but you don't need to tell me to do the technical. You can just shortcut that. And I think that with a less experienced actor or with a pairing that you don't know, the job of a director is to find the language to translate what they want. Rather than saying, can you slow that down? It's far more about, this is what I want. Some actors, especially neurodiverse, especially if you have an actor potentially who is very autistic or who needs far more direct communication, doesn't work in metaphor, then you do need to say, okay, technically I want less chest resonance, I want the pitch changed, I want this. But especially for brains like ours, which I think are probably wired in similar ways, we can shortcut that, and then we call that vibes, because we both understand the overall symphony, and we understand how to communicate it. Again, sorry about that rant.
No, it's okay. Like it's lovely. Like I said, I very much wanted the idea tonight was that I was going to take it a lot easier, just because I'm still not 100%. Theo Trethaway, hello. Sorry, I don't think I said hello when you initially came in. Amber, Robyn, you might have already been asked this before. What's the earliest audio drama radio play that you remember listening to? I'm trying to think. I think
the Archers theme. Yeah, the Archers theme tune is such a core memory for me. I don't even remember listening to it. I'm sorry to say this to everybody because it's an absolute betrayal, but Stephen Fry reading the Harry Potter books, he read one of them on Radio 4, and my aunt had the ability to record off the radio. This was when I was so little, and this wasn't something like, and she recorded it for me, and I remember just being enthralled by it. I remember going to my library and getting audiobook tapes, so I wasn't as much for audio drama. For me, it was all books. I don't know about you though.
I had sort of books on tape as well, but also like when I was growing up on a lot of on long car journeys, we wouldn't listen to music, we'd listen to Radio 4. So I was kind of raised on
Yes.
like radio comedy. But the first audio drama I specifically remember listening to and going, oh, audio drama. And so when I tell people this story, they think I'm making it up. I'm not. I actually went on a quest a couple of years ago to prove that this thing exists, and it is now on Internet Archive because I was like, I'm determined to prove that this exists. So
Nice.
there is a Wallace and Gromit audio drama. It was available on cassette tape. It was called Crackers in Space. And it was genuinely amazing. So it's a proper, fully designed audio drama, but with Wallace and Gromit. But the really cool thing that they do is that so Gromit, so it's Gromit's birthday at the beginning, and Wallace gives Gromit a machine that helps him communicate. And basically what it is Gromit can type things in, and then it'll make a sound effect to communicate what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So it means you'll occasionally hear tap, 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 and then you'll hear a bunch of sound effects. Yeah, basically the idea is that like there's like a cheese meteor heading towards Earth, and they have to like do an Armageddon basically and fly up, and but there's like slapstick sequences and there's
Incredible.
there's like physical action sequences. It's great, and I'm gonna make a point of putting a link in the chat because I told this story at a podcast convention on an audio drama panel, and nobody believed me. I was so cross.
I know. I believe you 100%. I remember this. I remember there was a book. There was an audiobook I got from my local library, and I don't think I've ever found it since. A family of robbers, and in the end, they end up making this cafe with parakeet, like these exotic birds. I can't remember what it was. It's a kid's story. It's driving me feral because I was trying to work out what it was. But this is the thing: is you have these memories and these flickers of, and I think there was a song at the end or something, and they just stick in your mind. I think in terms of audio drama, realizing it was seeing a Foley artist doing stuff and going, oh my god, I hadn't even, it had become, there it is, I love that. Crackers in, what a legend.
So I found a cassette copy of this on eBay. I bought it, recorded it onto my computer, and then put that on archive.org because I'm like, the world needs to know. So
Good.
if you go to archive.org, type in Crackers in Space, it's like an hour long.
I'm so proud of you. That is your contribution, and yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing to say is, I mentioned it. I cartoons, Yu-Gi-Oh as a child, and all of these cartoons, and I got the original X-Men, Batman. I was then X-Men Evolution. I was a big X-Men fan. I wonder why. But there's all of these like amazing voice work that you could hear people do, and it was obsessed. And games, video games, the characters in that, and there's always someone doing those voices, and that's just, yeah. And then in terms of audio drama, it's something that I get out. I listen to Radio 4 a lot in the car, and I've just I think the problem is now I know too much. I have that forbidden fruit of knowledge, and I can't listen to an audio drama a little bit without criticizing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Without having an opinion.
I can't listen to Radio 4 anymore.
No, I can't do it. I mean, I'm okay. It's just listening to an audio drama, and there's been a few that I've listened. Oh god, there was one recently which was it was a Radio 4 one, and it was like the end of the world, like global warming had happened. There's some beautiful, there are some lovely things. Oh, Requiem. So Harry and Misha did a radio play called Requiem, which was about Harry's dad. So Harry, he doesn't mind me saying, Harry Knights, he's a trans guy, and his dad is a priest, and is currently the priest at Sandringham. If that makes is that person. And this whole audio drama they did, Requiem, was about how his dad was looking after set up a support group for AIDS patients and HIV positive gay people, and anyone but HIV positive people back at the height of the AIDS crisis. And it's a beautiful thing, and you listen to it and you're like, the use of music. And anyway, I could talk about them all day. Listen to Requiem, it's lovely if you can find it. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Shut me up, keep doing the thing.
I was just about to say we should probably do some editing an hour into the stream.
Oh god, sorry.
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. Like there's no like time limit on this. Like this is just like I'm happy to just hang out. And also it gave me a bit of a chance to go over my notes for this episode, because turns out for this episode, you just did 3 really good takes. So I was kind of just quickly going through my notes, kind of being like, right.
Oh
where
yes,
did I...
this one where you were like, I like all of them.
Yes. Just circled all of them. Don't tell Ross I didn't use a proper production document.
You
Yeah.
said that at the time as well.
Yes. But yeah, so let's listen to the let's listen to the opening sequence, just the sound design and the music, and then we can stick the vocals in, just so you've got an idea for it. I love the hour-long yap session before the actual work starts. Yeah. This is almost like a little sort of silent audio drama in and of itself, which I quite like. I think this is the same truck sound from Camlin.
My truck.
Yes, it's the same truck.
It's my truck. There was long conversations about who would or wouldn't be allowed to drive that truck. Gwen is allowed.
I'm really proud of the transition, the 2 transitions that are coming. I'm really proud of. So that's kind of the opening, the sort of first scene. There's two scenes in this episode. There's the sort of first bit kind of go on the road, and then the second bit later on. Thanks for stopping by, Endrich Cat Possum. Enjoy your other stream. I hope it is lovely. We will hopefully catch you again soon. But yeah, so let's get the things. How'd you get all those handy visualizations in the footer? So this is a program called Minimeters. So you can get it on itch.io. It's this sort of tiny little application made by a developer, and I just stick it on my monitor effects. It just goes on like a VST, and then you can kind of where's the settings? You can change kind of the colors. You can change what you see. You can alter. You can change the sensitivity of it as well. And really, really handy. Like I oh no, I've just quit it. Oh no. Alt drag. There we go. Just want it down here. But yeah, really, I mostly use the oscilloscope down here, which is very handy. Okay.
There is something about this part of Scotland that just draws me back to it. Imagine the Pacific Northwest, but with 18th century country towns. Tea rooms rather than diners. Townhouses rather than log cabins. The trees still frame the road the same way. The mist drifts across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait.
Oh, we did record the breathing in this track. Amazing, good. I was worried about that. Amazing. Okay, good.
It's interesting listening back and going, yeah, I can hear somebody said, teaching it is the... It's an exercise in antithesis. It's not A, it's B, and having to compare it all and then create the atmosphere with my voice. And when you're sort of talking about the slow creep of fog, the word fog brings the onomatopoeic. You've got that breathiness and if you slow your pace, that's how we tell these stories. And when we've got the whole vibe of it, like I said, is this, it's actually lighter than you think, because it's very introspective and it's somebody talking about something they love but that they appreciate as sort of not unlovable but a bit weird. So all of that is what listening back to it, if I was kind of dissecting where I was going with it, but like a lot of that happens automatically, but if you're trying to do it and you're manually notating things, those are the things to notate. It's like, how can you create the scene with your voice, and that's then something you can pick up and add to.
Nice. Yeah, like it's interesting listening back to it without the context of the sound design and stuff. I think just because this is the episode where I've kind of got the most reference, which is quite strange, whereas with the other two I didn't. But yeah, it's just great. You're very good at this. You're very. I don't know if anyone's told you recently, but you're very good at this.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Lou, hello.
I mean, I
Sorry,
can.
I didn't see you
If
come
people
in.
are, yeah, if you want, I mean, if it helps, I'll do my entire if someone's struggling to find out which is my real Robyn and which recorder, I can just do like real Robyn with my MLE like South London accent. Growing up, went to school in Croydon, then that's fine.
No, that's okay. Robinception. Is there going to be a transcript when it releases? Yes. So basically, when you with the download of the series, there's going to be a script with some of my notes, hand drawn notes on it, but also there's going to be a plain doc file with a transcript on there as well. So there will be one included with the series. Let's have a listen to this in context.
There is something about this part of Scotland that just draws me back to it. Imagine the Pacific Northwest, but with 18th century country towns. Tea rooms rather than diners. Townhouses rather than log cabins. The trees still frame the road the same way. The mist drifts across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to move this over slightly. Just gives a bit more space.
Wait.
Also, just going to give us a bit more space to play around with. I'm going to jump out, hopefully catch you before the end. Thanks for stopping by, Martin. It's good to see you. Right, let's...
The mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland.
I might move this over slightly.
Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. Across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here.
Slightly.
Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait.
So I'm going to check, see what other weights we have from different takes. That's take 2, I think.
But in Scotland. Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. I'm actually going to take that from the top. Not happy with that.
Okay, fair enough.
Twin Peaks is in pretty good condition and... Wait.
I think I like that one. And then... I think with the third take we just did the end, didn't we?
Hello, is anyone out there?
Yes.
This is.
Yeah, we're just at the end for that one. Okay, yeah, let's take that one. Surprise radio sheep. I need to replace these radio sounds as well, but I've got a plan for that.
Wait.
No, it should be the other way around.
Wait.
The brutality of the edit. So I'm kind of in two minds about keeping the radio on for this bit, so those are sounds that we've used kind of already. But the choice between weights, yeah, it is going to be these tiny little micro changes in things. So there is. So the sound you're hearing at the end there is from Silent Hill 2 specifically.
Nice.
And then I might just have that fourth one on a loop there, just because I want the car to sound slightly different from the rest of the radio station, and I'm aware at the moment they're playing the same sounds, and I think they're a little bit distracting as well. So let's stick in a nice little ambience here. Also, there is a very, very quiet Kate Bush sample in the music that I don't think you can quite hear in the mix because of all the other sounds. Right, how loud is that?
There is something about this part of Scotland that just draws me back to it.
Way too loud!
Imagine the Pacific Northwest, but with 18th century country towns. Tea rooms rather than diners. Townhouses rather than log cabins. The trees still frame the road the same way. The mist drifts across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait.
Nice. I love those piano chords on the line Twin Peaks. I really love this piece of music that we're going to be working with today. I remember it when we sort of made it on stream. It kind of took a while to come together, but basically you get this lovely little build up. And then it becomes this really big, like... Oh, so big! Then you're into the second scene. Like I think the challenge of this episode is that we are working within a very specific like time constraint, which we're not really doing with the other episodes. Like I very much want it to fit within this piece of music, because the episode was built around it, and I kind of want to hold on to that as much as possible. Right, what did I write down for the next bit? Oh, take two again. So okay, so I believe it's this one. And then so we've got a switch between some scene stuff and some dialogue stuff here. So, let's mute the music for a second.
So wait.
Okay, let's see.
Wait. There was a light. There was a light in the sky. Too fast for a plane, too slow to be a shooting star. The colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go, and I swear, it looked at me.
So we've
Better
actually...
take of that one.
Yes. I think...
Watched it go, and I swear, go, and...
So this bit at the end, I kind of wrote that down for take 2, is the one that I liked.
Mm.
So you get a lovely.
This is going to be terrible though, because now I'm going to be listening back and going, no, not happy with that. Let's redo that.
The void, yeah.
And I swear, it looked at me.
Okay, we've got a bit more time there. Hang on.
It looked at me.
Yeah, so that's the space we gotta fill in there.
Oh, I have a question.
You do.
How do I feel about listening to my voice back? I've done it a lot now.
Tell you what, I'm gonna mute the track while you answer this question. So
Yeah, I think in the beginning I found it very weird because as everyone, you're like, this is not what. Oh, sorry, I can hear my own. I
Oh,
can hear the
sorry,
track.
sorry.
Fair enough.
I'll mute you on here as well. Hold on.
Thank you.
Right,
My
that should be fine.
apologies. There's occasionally a thing that happens if you've got the delay back. It's the very surreal thing of hearing your voice at a very slight delay, and it's impossible to talk about. But when I first heard my voice back, I was like, "Oh my god, that's not what I sound like? Is it? Is it? It's the same thing everyone does, because you don't sound the way you think." And it was slightly upsetting for me as well because I like to sing. I say I like to sing because I don't know if I'm a good singer, and people are like, "Oh no, you are," and I'm like, to people who don't sing, I think I'm probably a good singer. But because I trained in musical theatre and like my wife's an incredible singer and things like that, I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough. So when I've heard my singing voice back first, I was like, oh, that's not what I sound like in my. I thought I was better than that, and I actually have not very good pitch. Sorry, it's slightly tangential, but I promise it's related. Which is just most people say they can't sing, but actually most people can. Very, very rarely are people completely tone deaf. But I think partly because of how I process things auditorily, I do struggle to hear the difference between certain like semitones. So I really struggle with harmonizing and group singing. I just a chromatic scale upsets me deeply. But when you do just get used to it in the same way watching things back as an actor. Like TikTok has been a trial by fire. I have just had to get used to seeing my own face talking, and you edit, and after a while you do get used to it. And the main thing is you do become critical because, like I say, you know when it's wrong, and you just want to get it right. You just want to get it right, and you can be there for days. And that's where practice comes in. Like I said, recording an audiobook last week. And I remember consciously thinking at one point, oh, I've done that bit wrong. I just need to keep going. And I just said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do that again because you know, and it's like a little itch at the back of your brain when it's gone wrong. And the director will be like, no, it's fine. And like when we're doing Camelot, and I'll be like, no, it's great. And I was like, no, it's not right. I know it's not right. And I'm terrible as an actor at directing myself because also bear in mind I can hear myself sort of in my headphones and stuff like that, so I hear myself back because I'm in my recording setup here. Sorry, it's a very long answer to your question, but you do need to get comfortable listening to yourself so that you can critique yourself, not from a place of hating yourself. Like you have to take your ego out of it, because hating yourself is just as egotistical as loving yourself, especially when you're trying to get better at something. Because if you just go, oh, well, it's all terrible, I'm like, well, no, it wasn't. And you're not going to learn anything from that. You actually have to listen back. And if it helps you to imagine it's somebody else, fine. Especially like if you've got any dysphoria over your voice, which I really understand, but you will only improve by listening and by developing your own ear. That being said, some days like I'll hear accent. Like I did an entire audiobook in an American accent, and it's a lovely book. I genuinely loved it. I don't know why I didn't ask Griff to do it, but I know why, because I wanted the job and it was a great job. Griff is an American friend of mine, but like I did this job and I heard the sample on Audible and the writer was delighted with me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. I love doing it. But I heard it and I was like, within the first sentence, I heard something incorrect in the accent. I was like, damn. Because Americans will hear that. Brits won't, but Americans will. The way I say, I say it too British. And I was just going, oh, it's so annoying. So, yeah, I'm still working on kindness towards myself. Anyway, I'll probably hand back to Amber now.
Amazing. Right. You've come at a point where I think I might have just finished that little bit there. Let me put this back on so you can hear everything. Yeah, you can hear it. So I've made this scene a bit shorter. because I realized that Robyn, you talk quicker than I do. So um, it's worked out quite well, actually. It kind of means the scene's a bit snappier. So this is kind of what we've got so far. I am gonna get the take because I think for episode 5 we had like a breath take, and I'm gonna steal some of that and put it in here.
We do have me breathing heavily for a take.
Yes, I'll go and get that in a second. But I'll while I'm doing that, I think we can kind of listen to this bit here.
It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait. There was a light in the sky. Too fast for a plane, too slow to be a shooting star. The colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go, and I swear, it looked at me.
I'm such a fast talker.
Oh, it's good though. I think it works.
Thank you. I find a lot of audio drama too slow, and again, it's partly the way my brain's wired. But when I was listening back to Perry, I was like, "Oh God, I think I apologized to you about three times an hour every time we recorded because it's just so far." But again, partly it's the TikTok thing, is you get used to terms and conditions speed where you have to be so fast, and I think audio drama, it makes you slow down to a really unnatural extent, and I get away with it because my articulation's clear. But yeah, I do have to be careful. Like I say, I actually think that a lot of audio drama is too slow, but that's my very personal opinion. So thank you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. I mean, like
Quickly.
it's interesting you say that because like I think one of the things I wanted to do with this project in particular is that I'm very aware that that a lot of the audio drama that I do work on, like The Tower is the kind of best example of that. The pacing is very slow. It is a very slow thing, and just due to the nature of this project, like it is meant to go at a certain pace. It is meant to move quite quickly. So it works for this project really, really, really well. And yeah, like it worked for Perry as well. Like,
Oh, well, this is the thing. I can read slower, and there are things that do. I see pace as as I said earlier, a very important part of what we're doing together. But I think my meter is slightly off. I speak quickly, and I'm used to. But again, it's partly an accent thing. This is the interesting thing: is this accent does lend itself to speed. And if my wife and I are having conversations, it's going a mile a fucking minute. Sorry, can I swear, Amber? Can I swear? I didn't check.
Sure.
No, I'll try not to swear on your podcast, but yeah, it's just going a mile a minute. And again, if your brain, like mine, sometimes goes too fast for you to catch up, your voice is kind of just speaking, desperately trying to catch up. So no, and I'm sure I would enjoy. I do like slower stuff. It's just sometimes I find it sounds unnatural in my head, and I have to speed it up a bit. Otherwise, I almost lose the meaning of the sentence.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just.
Yeah, right. Let me see if I can find this breathing. Kieran, hello, welcome in, Kieran. Coming in
Hello,
late.
Kieran.
Nah, you're right on time. Blue is saying you would enjoy Counterbalance, which zooms along at a rate of knots, apparently. What do we got here?
A wizard is never...
Yeah, do you want to get that?
He arrives exactly when he is intended.
Yeah, I want that kind of... Sorry, I'm very aware it's very weird. It's very weird hearing breathing through here. Sassy Catastrophe, thank you very much for Hydrate or Dihydrate. It is important to drink water and to stay hydrated.
I've finished my tea. Oh no. I can't hydrate. Oh man, the weird no again, once again, from the book where I was voicing an orgy. You just have to make very weird sounds. And yes, my director on that project was a lovely chap who's Hawk in Dragon Age 2. He's bolty, he's lovely, and he had to hear me do all of this, and I was like, I'm sorry, Hawk, you're judging me. Something Spectacular, wonderful book. Wonderful. But yeah, you do have to hear yourself making all sorts of odd noises in audio drama.
Sassy Catastrophe, thank you very much for the save check. If you are co-working with this stream, now's a good time to save all that progress from the last hour and a half worth of work. Seeing autosave and remembering to save my work. Yep, it's important to keep your work saved.
Or, delete your art, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
That's a dwarfy reference. No,
if you want to live dangerously.
What
was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing this.
I am not a benefit on this stream.
No, not at all. It's been wonderful. Otherwise, it's just me talking to myself in chat, and that's great, and that's fine. But I'm not on full energy today, so it's good to have someone else to help with that. Oh, and there's a jelly bean break as well. Oh, beg your pardon. I will.
You've got jelly beans?
I do. There's a recurring stream thing that people can spend points on is to feed me a jelly bean like I'm some sort of human Tamagotchi.
Incredible. I was just about to. I mean, there's something that we should invest. I was going to say, Fudge Kitchen. Fudge Kitchen fudge is the best fudge that exists. No, trust me on this.
Okay.
Trust me on this, because I was about to say, we're talking about treats, and someone bought my wife some fudge from Fudge Kitchen, which it's in Cambridge, and I was going to be like, oh, I could bring you some because it's this most incredible treat. And I was like, wait, the only other place it exists in Edinburgh. We could do this.
Ooh,
and it's one of the it's an amazing place that you can go in and they make it in front of you and on a slab. It's like ultimate TikTok content, and it is genuinely one of the most delicious things. Because I was just thinking, what snack could I have? And I was like, what's around? There's some fudge around. I could get the fudge, but I don't know. I think having a fudge button is very dubious, but yeah, it's probably not very friendly.
Well, it's going to be a while before we run out of jelly beans because chat banded together and got me 6 kilograms of jelly beans.
Holy! Oh my god!
So this is 2 months.
Amber,
this one's not been opened yet.
Do we need to talk? Are you okay? That is. I didn't know you loved jelly beans to that degree. If you're about to say I don't love them,
I did.
Also, your hair looks magnificent.
Thank you.
I keep looking at it, getting distracted.
Thank you. It is out of control now, and I need to get my undercut redone because it's.
I mean, same. I've got a little. I'm getting to a mullet stage. Oh, the thing I know though, this is the problem with looking like you're looking like a teenager means you sort of have to keep up with teenage style. Which, when I was in my early 20s, absolutely an undercut was fine. But now it's all mullets, and I can't.
No,
It's not that it wouldn't. It's just I love my undercut, and I'm like, but I know I just look slightly odd now. And oh my god, I realize in January I will be 32 years old, and I'm still auditioning for 16-year-olds. I'm not against it. It's just
hey, some people would see that as a good thing.
So much slang. I know what it means to say. I know what people's aura. I will be playing. I am old enough to be playing my own parent. And on that note, thank you for saying calming voice is helping. I'm sorry you're stressed. It's okay. Stress is a natural response to things that are happening. You think there's tigers around you. They're just really slow tigers. But don't worry. Well, that's the thing is we're terrible as humans at dealing with anxiety. We just want the tiger to go. But sleep, rest, and if not, there's always tomorrow.
Right, let me just.
Is that one? I think it is the one down the road. It's Fudge Kitchen. Genuinely, if you ever go, they just give so much away as well. It's the most delicious stuff. Fudge Button is an amazing pet name. I thought I said pen name. Fudge Button. That's clearly the secret nom de plume. When I write pornography, I will write as Fudge Button. God, this has taken a turn.
Should we get back to the audio editing?
Let's.
Okay, I'm just making sure that you can hear everything. Yeah, so I just want to make sure this breathing is audible. Okay, let's just make sure that's. Oh,
Looked, watched it go.
sorry. I'll play that again. I just didn't. I just realized that stream couldn't actually hear it.
Back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait. There was a light in the sky. Too fast for a plane, too slow to be a shooting star. The colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go. And I swear the colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go. And I swear it looked at me.
I listened to that back and I remember at the time when we were recording it, how to land that line. And I swear it looked at me. I swear it looked at me. Like there's so many different ways you could play that, and I'm really glad I don't have to decide.
I will have a look, see at the other takes, because that's take 2, which is the one I wrote down.
Maybe I can find my way.
No, we're not there yet.
And I swear it looked at me.
That's the one we've just done. So so it means this one must be the one.
Out this part of Scotland that just I'm actually going to take that from the top. I'm not happy with that.
Okay.
Radio City is in pretty good condition.
Yeah, so this is the thing I've realised is when I'm doing vocal edits, I talk to the voice edits I'm doing. Like,
oh, that is the cutest thing I've ever
They are where they came from.
That's take 3.
Where? It looked at me.
Ooh, okay. Let's give that a go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's too much of an EastEnders moment. I think I might have said that at the time.
It is kind of meant to be dramatic.
To me. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, is it over? Yeah, anyway, this is why I'm really glad I don't have to direct the edit, because I listened to that going, too much.
Well, we can sort of bring the gap together in between them. So.
Yeah. I have a question.
And I swear.
Yes.
I was going to say, how much of this do you do on visuals? Because I find when I'm editing, I end up so much like looking almost rather than seeing where the sounds begin and end and stuff like that.
It depends. Depends on the project. Like I use the visuals to kind of give me an idea of where lines are. So like a kind of idea of just like, okay, this like it helps me just pick out where exactly the lines start and end. But I think for the most part, I kind of do it by ear.
Yeah.
But like I think, the sort of zoomed out view is kind of handy because it kind of means I can kind of look and go look and see where it's just like that's a really busy area. That's a really that's a thing where I need to pay a bit more attention to. I think in a visual sense, like so I've got Reaper set up so that you can sort of see these like faint white lines here on each item.
Mm-hmm.
So that controls the volume of each item.
Yes.
So that's really handy because then it means I can kind of keep an eye on like how boosted everything is, which I find really handy.
I finally fixed the gain on my mic. I turned off that switch.
Oh, I'm glad that helped.
So for listeners, I had a problem. I was recording a thing, and the guy emailed me back saying, "I'm sorry, it's got such low gain on that." I was like, "It's all turned all the way up. What is going on?" There is a button on the side of my microphone which reduces the gain. I think it's for if I'm doing like shouting or something. And I think in the house move, it got bumped. So yes, I'm so sorry, Jesse, if you're listening to this.
It's like minus 20 or something.
Yeah.
Minus 20.
It's ridiculous.
Incredible.
So the lesson here, team, is always check your microphone settings.
Always check the microphone settings before and after every recording session. Okay, let's listen to this back.
Oh, and I swear, it looked at me.
Yeah, ooh, we can do something fun here.
Where
Also,
it looked at me.
Yeah, I think I prefer that because then you get more of a pause.
Hmm.
It's dramatic.
a lot of the Fudge Kitchen stuff is also vegan.
Ooh, excellent.
For chat to know, it's gluten free as well. I'm celiac, and they do loads of, and they do offer specifically vegan ones. So yeah, just if you're trying to get them.
Amazing. I never realized how much editing actually took place for the voices, putting in the little breaks and such. Yeah, dialogue editors don't get enough praise. Like dialogue editors are the people that make the show actually work. Like,
100%. I was just saying, like I said, it's made in the edit, and some voice actors can get a little bit prissy about it. I don't. I think it's fantastic. I'm so grateful that you're able to fix the problems and put it together. Like, I'm giving you raw materials here, and you are making my performance. That there is a saying, performance is made in the edit, and it is. It 100% is. And we work together to make it work. And obviously, if you can only fix so much, but you can do so much. And as you say, you don't get anywhere near enough creative credit, I think, for what you create, because it's insane.
yeah, I feel like I've kind of said this a lot. Even when I was working in film, like post production and editing was kind of my favorite part because it was like, right, we have everything, now we need to make something. And I really like dialogue editing because like it's something that Ella and I actually clashed on when we were editing Camlin, because whenever something wasn't working, or whenever something didn't work, or we needed to do something and we didn't quite have the audio for it, Ella was very much just like, oh, it's okay, we can get them to record pickups. And I was always like, no. Let me see if I can make something with what we have. And an example, I think I spoke about this on the last stream. I remember talking to somebody about it. It might actually been when we were recording, but for episode 4, there's the scene where Gwen comes back with Perry, and then like there's the scene where like they all run to the truck, they pick Perry off the back of the truck, and then they
This is the don't grab his ass.
yeah. That was the outtake. But but basically that what we hadn't planned for that. Like the way the scene was written was the truck pulls up, Gwen goes, I need your help. Di stands up and goes, Perry, and then it cuts to the next scene of kicking down the door and they're in the
Yeah.
But Ella was like, oh, it'd be good to if we could have like the whole, like we get the whole movement. So rather than like making like a cut in the middle, we kind of hide the stitches. And I was very much just like, we don't really have the coverage for it. But then I remembered there was a blooper where Angharad and Tobias like refused to start the scene. Like they were just making grunting, breathing noises at each other, waiting for the other one to do their line. So I was like, oh, hang on, maybe I can use this, and then took like maybe a minute of that, and then kind of built the scene around that. So like I like doing creative things like that, kind of going, look, we have everything here, let's work with what we have. Whereas Ella's like, no, we've got pickups, we paid for pickups, let's get the pickups.
I think it is also though the difference in when it's money. Because if you, as you say, you did pay for pickups, but it's that thing of knowing that you don't, if you come from that world of not having the money,
yes,
then you have to make it work with what you've got. Alternatively, if you're trying to save money, it's actually on both ends of it. Is, if you're in a really big production and they don't want to pay for pickups, or they can't for whatever reason, then you just have to make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work, in the words of Project Runway. But yeah, and I'm the same actually with, again, I say the TikTok stuff I do because I do a lot of editing. I spend a lot of time staring at my own face and editing on editing videos, and you'll be amazed what you steal, like what bits you're like, oh no, that was just me recording for, to check I was in the right place, but it works for here. And I think, get as much coverage. Don't delete things until the project is done, because you never know when a certain sound or something's going to be useful. Because it's all stitched together. Every project you're listening to, it's a Frankenstein in the best possible way. It's all the best bits, and it's one of the things as an actor that I find really reassuring. Is I know that if it doesn't work, you will fix it. Like, we'll fix it in post, and it's the thing you can't get on stage. On stage, you just have to do it. But at the same time, no one's filming it. So if it goes wrong, the only people who are going to see it are the people who see it at the night. So the things that last and linger are fixable. And that's, I think, or at least I find it quite comforting.
Yeah. Oh, Theo Strathaway, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Thank you, Theo. We love you. And Theo has is working on a new podcast as well. If they want to talk, like, mention that in chat, because I know that I believe they're working on something that's exciting.
Please do. Subscribe with Prime as well. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind of you, Theo. That's very kind. Then there's the notification.
Oh, you almost Camlet. You missed the Blawbows. I'm sorry. We all exist. Don't worry. We've got a very lively group chat, which mostly consists of us celebrating things like Tobias getting the video game and stuff like that, and also sending memes. And me telling the worst joke, which I'm now going to tell an entire group. Oh my god! So
while you're doing that, I'm gonna do some more editing while you're doing that. But you go for it.
I will just tell you the worst joke, which is just which knight designed the round table? Circumference. I literally told that. That was told to me while I was recording, and we laughed. And I told that to the Camline group chat, and they lost their proverbial so angry at me. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
I'm enjoying getting the reactions to
There you go. Well, goodbye. Yep, thank you. It's been a fun evening. I'm sorry, everyone. Goodbye. No. I'll see myself out. That joke was told to me by fellow voice actor Josh Witchard, who is one of the Baldur's Gate team, and he's done everything. Josh Witchard, go follow him. He's delightful. But he told me he was so happy to tell me that joke, and I was so happy to hear it. Yes. Oh, yes. So the Holmwood, I'm not sure. Foundation, a found footage horror fiction podcast.
Ooh, okay, that's exciting.
That's lovely.
Wonderful. Okay, you should be okay to stick a link in the chat, Theo, if you have like a website or a link tree or anything like that. Nightbot shouldn't catch it, but if not, I can stick it up here.
Yes, Holmwood.
Right, marvelous.
I'm so glad that that made you laugh as much as it made me laugh. That's fantastic.
Oh, London 1965. Hello, that's what you want to open with? You should be on the comedy circuit. Very good.
Thank you.
Right, now I need to remember if we recorded. So we need like effort sounds here. I can't remember which take that was in.
Hello? Yes, I think we did.
Let's have a quick look, because you've got to yell at Scully at one point as well. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, well, good. The good news is I think I should be able to. There we go. Right, so sorry about that. I can stick that in there for you. Nightbot is very diligent with catching a lot of spam and things, but occasionally it's a little bit overeager. Okay.
Looked at me.
Do we have noises? Do we have noises? Do we have noises?
If not, we can always get them now.
Hello? Is there any... Find my way back.
Do we record them after, maybe? I'm trying to remember. Oh, wait, that wasn't take 3. This is take 3. Oh.
Really?
Yes, that's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's pop this whole take in, and then we can get everything.
And the person playing Baldur's Gate, Josh, is one of the Tavs. Can't remember which one.
So where's our opening here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, that sounds so good! Oh my goodness! Oh, perfect! Oh, I love that. That's such a good action.
Teaching children how to do effort noises, because, like I say, teaching actors how to do audio drama, and the kids I teach making them do effort noises are all very funny.
I think effort noises were one of the big revelations from Camlin. Is like it. It's there's a thing in sound design. It's something that Ben Burr came up with. It's called the authority of real sound. So it's if you're making a sound effect, if you're making a sound effect, it's better to use like a real sound that's recorded from life rather than like synthesize the sound. So for instance, like Ben Burr obviously did Star Wars, and Star Wars is full of is deliciously analog sound design the whole time.
Mm.
And like the examples that so there's like an alarm sound that's like a big horn. It's the San Francisco foghorn. But
Oh.
like he was very much just like I could have used a synthesizer to make this alarm sound, but because we're using a real sound that is from the real world, it's not something that's been made by a sound designer, but something that's been recorded by one. It has more authority and it sounds more real and it sounds more lifelike. And I think with effort noises in particular, with these sort of action sequences, having human sounds over the top of them does like add an extra layer of authenticity and makes them real. Like it just sort of it's hiding the stitching. So this is it without the effort noises. Like you can kind of hear when every sound stops and starts. But if you just stick the effort sounds over the top of it, it just hides the stitches is the phrase I keep using. It's just like it sort of covers everything over, which
It's a
is
good
great.
phrase.
Ties it all together.
I think that I learned about effort noises when I did the Big Finish, the Doctor Who audio drama, because there's so much running and there's so much taking bags off, postprandial cortex. Rob Valentine, somewhere he gave me techno. Like I don't mind technobabble, as you know, because Ella also decided to give me technobabble, which is why I did
Yeah,
a
but
lot of Perry's monologues in the style of the 10th Doctor.
But I was going to say your technobabble is in Welsh. I feel like that's an extra layer
It is.
of
Oh gosh, you give me anyway. But yes, this. So I had to learn quite quick because I had no idea what an effort noise was, and they were like, "Well, just make the noise." And because I love mime, I end up doing the thing and making the noise as I do the thing. So because then if you need to create a certain level of tension in your body so that the effort noise is appropriate for what you're doing. So again, anyone listening through, levels of tension, do the action if you can, because as you say, the realer it can be. We were taking off our coats in Camlan. I think you got in a bath, splish bash.
Oh
Like,
yes, I got in the bath
can,
for episode 2. Yeah,
you were in that bath for that very wet horse. But yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, because for Camlin, there was a very specific focus on real effort sound. Like I think the thing I said to Ella is, well, let's get the actors to make their own sound design, to do their own Foley, to do their own stunts.
and then you gave Angharad something heavy.
Yeah, I gave Angharad things that were breakable first of all, and then I gave her things that were heavy.
Yes,
but also like I love the scenes where Perry's talking into like the radio and kind of hitting it and bashing it and things, and I was very much just like, use anything in the office that makes a sound that'll kind of help you do the thing. I think for Tobias's binoculars in the last episode, I didn't have a pair of binoculars, but I had a pair of like foldable headphones that made a similar sound. So
yes, but you had the radio to play with, and that was the thing I really missed in this. Is you were telling me, turn on off the radio. I was like, I haven't got a radio. I just started tapping like my desk and lifting things up because you work with what you got.
Yeah. But yeah, I love working with effort sounds now. Can't be without them. And this initially wasn't going to have any, but when I was doing the proof of demo, the proof of concept, I ended up putting effort sounds in because I was like, no, it needs them. It needs to sound more real.
It needs it. It's you really can't. It's the thing that you were telling me about in Lantern Man. It's that whose perspective are you in, and it's when you're doing writing as well, and you think whose POV are we in, and you hear yourself, and actually those physical sounds are really vital. The heartbeat, the kind of the running, the breathing, because you don't realize until it's gone that feels natural. Like you played it without just then, and it feels so unnatural because they're part of what's around us. It's like when you turn off a sound that you hadn't realized was there, suddenly it's really weird.
Yeah. Well, because it's like there's no humanity to it. It's just a series of noises put together. Like you haven't breathed life into them. I think you don't realize as a writer just how important it is to have effort sounds because you do forget about them until you say them out loud. Yeah, 100%. Like I think it's one of those things very much that can happen, being like, oh crap, we forgot to record that. And I think
it's why actually I probably over add them, and I also try to offer like let's just get that, and it's something I tend to pick up on, and I know that not every director wants their actor to be as sort of verbal as I can be, but I'm just there going, do you want the sound for that? Because it's always better to have it, and like go through actors if you're reading this, and writers as well, go through, mark your script, mark in the effort sounds, make sure you do them. And what I do for, again, teaching audio drama, I made a script and I sort of go through and I'm like, okay, what is the environment that the audience aren't seeing because you have no eyes? And I get them to close their eyes and I'm like, what do you need to hear for the narrative beats to make sense? If you're lifting up a bag, like, yes, you're overemphasizing it, but that's because they can't see you do it. So yeah, it's go through almost and see it with your eyes closed, go through that, go through the various senses, not just hearing, but thinking, if they're trying to feel the cold, then you need an effort sound of, Paul was so good at sounding cold.
Oh yeah. Oh, Paul had some
so good at sounding
fantastic
cold
sounds.
And that's an effort noise you don't realize you need until you hear it.
Yes.
So yeah, have a think about how that sensory environment is impacting your actor and impacting that character so that they can make appropriate effort sounds to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Camlin in particular, and we were talking about like radio voice earlier on. I think the other thing as well was that something Ella and I really wanted was to emphasize movement, and like my whole thing was I want to try and make the actors forget that there's a microphone in front of them, because I think when you stick a microphone in front of someone, they automatically do a radio voice.
Yes.
And so in this case, it was just like stick the microphone in the middle of the room. It's going to capture absolutely everything because it's amazing, and you can change the polar pattern of it in post, so I don't need to worry about anything. And then was kind of like just ignore that it's there. And yeah, I think it just meant that we could focus more on the space, right? We could focus more on like actions, like for the kitchen scenes, we had like Anhara like walking around. While everyone else had mugs and was drinking tea and coffee while we were doing the scene. I think anything you can do to make the scene more dynamic, it means that it comes through in the editing side of it. I think, like, we had a steering wheel for the truck, and then we had people sitting in like they would sit in a truck when we were recording it.
That steering wheel was very important to me, but on a joking level, it's because you sit differently and because that makes you speak differently. Because again, it was the things of, I was miming looking in the mirror, and I'll do it on the mic now. I'll look over there, and if I'm looking there, it comes off the mic slightly, and I'm looking, checking, and then it's ironically, if I was getting a voice actor, I'd also teach them mime, because they need to be able to do things at the pace that you would actually do it, so that you can make the noises and so that it can sound accurate, and you just know when you aren't. And when I've got one arm, if I'm leaning away, if I'm driving like this, you can hear that slight difference in sound. So having that there is so helpful for creating that realistic, and it doesn't always work because it does change the audio quality and it is a decision that you need to make. But when you get it, it is lovely.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. Camlin was just great. It's a really good, positive recording experience.
It was such good.
Okay, I have put a Scully sound in here, so we should get there.
Hello? Hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth.
Okay, well, yeah, I think more or less we can run this through to the end, I think, potentially. Because the timing works out. What was the mic you used that allowed you to do that stuff in post? Oh, let me tell you about my amazing microphone. So this is a Lewitt LCT 640 TS. On the face of it, it is a microphone that is just your standard condenser microphone. It has different polar patterns on the front of it. There's a little button on the front. It can change the polar pattern. However, there's also a little slot in the side that turns it into a stereo microphone. But one of the cool things it can do, and this is the thing we used it for on Camlin, is that it comes with a free plugin. It comes with a free plugin called Polarizer. I'm going to load it up really quickly on this track here so we can look at it. Come on.
Ah, the microphone.
The microphone. So this is a free
Amber's child.
Yeah, so it's a free so this actually works on any stereo file, but what it does is it turns the left channel into the front of the microphone, and then it turns the sorry, that's wrong. Yeah, it turns the front of the microphone into the left channel, and the back of the microphone into the right channel, and then it kind of flips them round, and then you can change the polar pattern of the microphone in post. And then the cool thing about it is you can automate it as well. So you can so basically I had one track for all the vocals in Camlin. It was a stereo track. And then it was just a case of automating it so it would switch between whichever polar pattern I needed it to do. It is the best investment I've made in audio, in my audio equipment. And I put it above the Moog Grandmother. So that's how you know I'm being serious. And that's that has weight. That statement has weight. Yeah, it's a really good microphone for recording in a studio and recording in recording an audio drama, or for sort of experimental audio stuff. I had wondered how you got the sound to sound so good in Camlin without using a heavily treated studio space. This room isn't really heavily treated. There's the two panels on the back, which you can kind of see. I have two old mattresses that Sarah and I don't know how we got them, but when we moved in together, we had two extra mattresses, because one of us was clearly a princess or something. So those are up against these little kind of inlets in the side here, because there used to be a fireplace in front of here, and so that kind of does most of the sound. But the ceiling has soundproofing on it now. It didn't when we recorded Camlin. That's got blankets attached to the ceiling now, and we've got the sofa in here as well. So there's a little bit of soundproofing, but it's not like a I wouldn't say it's a heavily treated or professionally treated space. Could you do that with a matched pair? Theoretically, yeah. I mean, you can get the polarizer, excuse me, you can get the polarizer plugin for free from Lewitt's website. You just type in Lewitt polarizer and it comes up, and it does work on any stereo file. So if you had a matched pair, you could do that. But I sadly didn't have a matched pair, and this kind of did the job, and it was specifically designed for it. So it was less expensive than you might think. And yeah, it's paid for itself over and over again. I'm now at the stage where I'm selling microphones because I don't need other, this does everything. It's great.
One microphone to rule them all.
Yeah. The future is here, and it's so cool. Right, let's get the rest of this episode. I think we'll probably not finish it tonight, but we can. We've got next week.
That's entirely my fault.
No. I honestly didn't think we would, because I'm not quite in editing brain this week today, so it's been a very loose kind of edit. Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I might shorten that just a little tiny bit.
Hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth. Hello? Hello? Hello, this is Earth. Hello? Hello? Hello, this is Earth. This This is Earth. Come on, hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. I know you're out there. I saw you. This is Earth. Is anyone out there? I know you're out there. I know what... Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real. I saw something in the sky and it looked at me. If I can just contact them, find out who they are, where they came from, maybe I can find my way back.
We need to put a pause there.
Contact them, find out who they are, where they came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
I mean, I say we're not going to finish. That was that came together.
It's the end. Although I think there's a
Incredibly
better
quickly.
take of that. The maybe I can find my way back. I think there's a third one of that.
No, I think that is the third take.
Interesting.
Hang on, let me go through what we have.
Oh, where they came from. Maybe I can find my way back. Where they came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
Ooh, I quite like that one.
Pick up a couple of things. Is there
Oops, sorry.
one out there? Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real.
Ooh, actually, hang on. I've just seen a note that I made that I think this last bit was from there.
Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real. I saw something in the sky and it looked at me. If I can just contact them, find out who they are, where they came from, maybe I can find my way back.
Ooh, okay, so that's the radio sound that we're gonna hear. So, okay, let me flick these over.
Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real. I saw something in the sky and it looked at me. If I can just contact them, find out who they are, where they came from, maybe I can find my way back.
That sounds super slick. Thank you. I often make noises which mean I'm impressed or that's cool or similar when watching these streams. Having Robyn here was validating as they made a very similar sound to my own after the comparison to the Moog. I'm glad that I have communicated. I'm glad I have an audience that understands the importance of the Moog synthesizer in my life. I don't know anything about this show, but this is such a good hook. Intrigued. Thank you. Like it's another little experimental show that we're putting together. Okay. Robyn, if you're okay to stick around for another half hour, I reckon I can get this finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon we can get
Yeah,
this
I'm
episode
around.
this episode done because the only thing I think I need to do now is I need to put the radio voice in over maybe I can find my way back.
Mm.
And like get the interference and stuff in there, and then I think it's just a case of cleaning it up. I think maybe potentially. And then we can have a listen to because this will be the finish. This will be the end of side A technically, right? So the idea is it's going to be like side A, side B. So this is the end of Act 1, which is really cool. Right. So for the voice, I'm taking the stuff that we recorded, pitching it down by 2 semitones, and then running it through 3 different effects, which I will demonstrate for you thusly. So we have 3 tracks, and this is what they sound like together.
Maybe I can find my way back.
Sounds fun. Very glitchy and nasty. So the first one is this one here. It's being run through a like a speak and spell kind of type filter. Sounds like this.
Maybe I can find my way back.
I love this plugin. It's called Chip Crusher by Plogue. It's not only a bit crusher, it's also a speaker emulator. So it has like things like arcade cabinets, Wii remotes, a speak and spell, arcade cabinets. It's great. Like I use this on a lot of stuff because it's got a really good ambience to it. It sounds a lot more authentic and real than most like bit crushers, which tend to just affect the audio without adding an ambience to them, whereas this adds the ambience as well. It's really great. So we've got that. We've got a slightly cleaner one here,
Maybe I can find my way back.
which is being run through a tape effect here, which is also kind of warping it slightly. And then on the last track down here,
Maybe I can find my way back.
that's being run through a speak and spell. So because this plugin is also a vocoder, and this is being run through the specific vocal encoding that I had. So you get this delightful.
Maybe I can find my way back.
So you get this very computerized sound, and then you stick them all together, and you get this lovely,
Maybe I can find my way back.
which is great. Let's see what we get when we put them all together.
Oh, where they came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
Okay, hang on. What's happening there?
Maybe I can find my way back. Maybe I can find my way back.
I love an indie animated plugin. Yeah, they all look really pretty, which is handy for me on stream. Sadly, I'm going to have to go, but this was a great stream. I felt like I learned so much just watching your work and listening. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for letting me promote Homewood. Thank you so much for dropping by, and thank you so much for subscribing and for following. I'm glad you had a good time. We'll hopefully catch you soon. Okay, I might speed this up slightly. Where does it go off?
I can find my way back.
Yeah, okay. See, this is the great thing about this, because it's underneath something else. Ooh, that sounds nice. Do.
Find my way back. Back.
Ah, okay. Right, that's... Sorry, welcome to the last half hour of the stream, which is going to be real fiddly and kind of boring.
Back. Find my way back.
In my brain, there's like, is there not a button you can press that will just match? I know that's not how that works, but my brain's just like, that's where AI is really dangerous.
Like there's
Because
a...
that's where it comes in.
I think there's a line in, I think it's Jurassic Park, where there's like it's like a computer is like doing the digging, like is like mapped out a dinosaur skeleton underground, and the person's like, give it a few years and we won't even have to dig anymore. And Sam Neill is just like, where's the fun in that? And that's how I feel.
No, 100%, 100%. It's where the danger comes in, because my brain is just, it's just so used to having those little fixes. And when you hear something like that, and I'm like, yeah, but this is being made for love. This isn't being made for kind of commercial. We're not on a time limit where you have to punch it all out. And it's when you take that love out of creation, that's when AI comes in. Because it's when you're tired and when you're just like, I just want it to work.
Yeah, it's like just
And of course,
do the thing.
just do the thing. Just do the thing. And maybe it's not quite good, but it's fine. And yeah, that's where I think it's where it's very dangerous.
Let's see if this works now.
I can find my way back.
Ooh.
I can find my way back.
Okay, I think that sounds a bit odd, but I think when you add everything else in...
Just contact them. Find out who they are, where they came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
Okay, now we just need to put the rest of the radio sounds in from the voice. What's that from? Oh, it's the monitor speaker. Okay, right. That's fine.
Oh, where they came from.
Oh, sorry, that's beg your pardon.
Came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
Pretend the phasing is on purpose. It is on purpose. It's 2 different takes.
Came from. Maybe I can find my way back.
There's a very special satisfaction when you spend time to fiddle with something and you eventually get it just right. That is my entire life.
Oh, I completely agree.
Can you
It's when
save sets
just-
of actions in this program like you can in Photoshop? Yes, you can set macros. But what I've found is whenever I've set a macro, I've realized that it's not necessarily fit. I think the most macros I have is that I've got a bunch of hotkeys mapped to an Xbox controller to help me edit.
Incredible.
So it means like for sure. It was a suggestion of Mysterious who was in chat. It means like for a lot of the sort of things up here like ripple editing and snapping and stuff, I've mapped onto here so I don't need to remember hotkeys. And then also like for rendering, rather than clicking file, clicking rendering, I've got a button that does it. So if I click this button here, it goes right to the render screen, which is marvelous. I will go sleep. Thanks for the stream. It was really cool to have Robyn in the stream. Thanks very much for sticking by, Just a Bonky. We'll hopefully see you soon. Hacking an Xbox controller to do editing, bass boosted cyberpunk theme cuts in.
Yeah.
I video edit with a third-party Switch Pro and a couple of 8-bit Do mini controllers. I am tempted by mini controllers, but I need a bigger desk.
Maybe I can find my way back.
Oh, sorry, I've turned the click track on. I pressed the wrong button and turned the click track on.
They came from. Maybe I can find my way back. My way back.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds just to pop this in properly. Okay, I think we might just be finished. I was very tempted for a while to get a load of those modular dials and toggles for Photoshop so I can use them in editing. I like tactile. I love having a little mixing desk here that I can control volumes of this of Reaper and my mic and also other applications and stuff. I just like having all that there. I need to invest in a Stream Deck because I think I've a need to use them now. I like having things that I can. One day, just for laughs, I want to see if I can edit with either an arcade gamepad or driving game inputs or a turntable gamepad. There was one day I was in an electronics store and they had like one of those like flight simulator controllers for sale, and I was like, I reckon I can get that to do. It was like there was like the big like lever and all the buttons, and I'm like, I reckon I can get that to do some interesting like editing thing maybe. Okay, let's give this episode a listen, and then, depending on time, I might listen to everything we've done so far, so we've kind of got that. Okay, let's go.
There is something about this part of Scotland that just draws me back to it. Imagine the Pacific Northwest, but with 18th century country towns. Tea rooms rather than diners. Townhouses rather than log cabins. The trees still frame the road the same way. The mist drifts across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait. There was a light in the sky. Too fast for a plane, too slow to be a shooting star. The colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go, and I swear, it looked at me. Hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth. Hello? Hello? This is Earth. Come on, hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. I know you're out there. I saw you. This is Earth. Is anyone out there?
Okay, I need to fix that bit.
Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real. I saw something in the sky and it looked at me. If I can just contact them, find out who they are, where they came from, maybe I can find my way back.
Okay, that's sounding really good. I'm really happy with how that's sounding. I need to add dial sounds and just add a bit more action to that kind of bit at the end. So just the radio bit at the end, and also there's a slam on the desk that needs to
Is anyone out there? This is
be
anyone out there? This is Earth. I know you're out
There it
there.
is.
I saw you. This is Earth. Is
yeah. So I need to figure out what I'm doing with the radio stuff. I kind of need there to be dials and clicks and switches and stuff going on. But I can do that later. And then also I might. So I'm saying this out loud. So when I watch the stream back, I remember what notes I actually need to do later on. And then I kind of want to make this intro bit a bit longer and a bit slower. Have a bit more of a fade in and kind of take our time a bit more with it. But other than that, I think that's sounding pretty jazzy. I think it's kind of that's such an incredible little piece. And says thank you, Pancake 2. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Robyn, you smashed it. Absolutely smashed it this time around.
Oh, I was working with what you gave me.
There's the next episode. I just have one note on the paper that just says it's good. I think you did the next episode in one take.
No, was this the one that we did in the read through and you were like, that's it?
Yes. I was just like, yeah, just do that again.
Yeah, you were just like, yeah, and I was like, oh no, now I have to make sure. Oh, really?
Amazing. Okay, do you want to listen to the first 3 episodes together? So we kind of got an idea of what it sounds like not as a completed piece, but as half a completed piece.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I think it'll take what?
Let's do it.
10 minutes? Yeah, we've got about 10 minutes before half past, which is grand. Let's do it. Okay, here we go.
Hello? Is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth. Hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth.
Hello Earth, a tiny audio drama by Amber Devereux.
My name is Nikki, and I live in an old radio station. One of those independent radio stations that have the big Art Deco buildings out in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty much like that. It's called Radio City. I just call it home. It's up on a hill in the north of Scotland, not far from Dunkeld. It sits in a clearing in the woods. Not many people know about it, which works for me. I live and work here with my idiot cat. Sending messages out into the void of space from Earth. Hoping that one day, someone or something will say, "Hello, Earth."
Can't believe we nearly went a whole stream without a time to Sonic.
I don't miss you. I want to make that really clear. I don't miss you. I don't know where you went or why, but I don't miss you. You said that you were done. You left. So I left. I'm not looking for you. I'm not looking for you.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Never once been fed. Not in all your born days. There you go. I'm not heating it up. Scotland actually has quite a long history with UFO sightings. Lights over Edinburgh Castle, dark oblong shapes moving over Glasgow, sheep disappearing from farms in the Highlands, strange figures in the Outer Hebrides. UFOs aren't really my speciality. I'm more interested in extraterrestrial communication.
It's easier for me to talk about this than myself, or anything that actually matters, or is real.
I know sending out messages from an old abandoned radio station is not quite the Arecibo Observatory, but Scotland is small. We take what we can get.
Do you ever think about space?
I don't mean like the final frontier. I mean actually being in space, floating above yourself, above the world, above everything. Like imagine being able to take one hand and blot the world right out of sight. Sounds kind of nice, doesn't it?
Sometimes I just want to be left alone.
I remember stumbling upon this place one day while hiking. I remember geeking out about how cool it was and wondering if it still worked. I always wanted to come back.
But I never did. I came here not long after you left. After I left.
I didn't really know why at first. I just wanted to be away from everyone. I needed to be high up, away from people, away from life. I couldn't blot out the world, but I could blot myself out. Leave myself to the stars and float above myself, above everything, and try and see what else is out there.
We just sort of imagine there's more of a fade up into the next episode, the next track rather.
There is something about this part of Scotland that just draws me back to it. Imagine the Pacific Northwest, but with 18th century country towns. Tea rooms rather than diners. Townhouses rather than log cabins. The trees still frame the road the same way. The mist drifts across the mountains the same way. Twin Peaks, but in Scotland. The Burnham Oak is here, the one Shakespeare wrote about in Macbeth. There's always been a sense of paranormal here. Though why someone decided to build an Art Deco radio station here, I don't know. It's not a long drive from the town. I needed to pick up a couple of things. The trail back up to Radio City is in pretty good condition and... Wait. There was a light in the sky. Too fast for a plane, too slow to be a shooting star. The colours were weird. I just looked, watched it go, and I swear, it looked at me. Hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. My name is Nikki. Is anyone out there? This is Earth. Hello? Hello? This is Earth. Come on, hello? Hello, is anyone out there? This is Earth. I know you're out there. I saw you. This is Earth. Is anyone out there? Listen, I know what it sounds like. I do. I really do. But I know what I saw. It was real.
I saw something in the sky and it looked at me. If I can just contact them, find out who they are, where they came from, maybe I can find my way back.
Oh, okay.
Sounds all
good.
right, doesn't it?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. That's sounding pretty.
That's not a drama. It's happening.
Yeah, that's half an audio drama. Amazing. We've got an
Yeah.
audio draw. I am actually going to quickly, just because I had an idea for something, we could just a nice little extra effect for specifically the sound the radio makes right before the car opens up. So if we have the
Wait.
so it's the sound that plays before the voice comes in, so it kind of ties the two sounds together a little bit more. I'm gonna probably make that a little bit quieter in the mix. I like putting these little audio details in that nobody will notice. But this is why I make stuff
But
on stream,
they
so then I can
will.
tell you about them. Oh,
It's
fantastic.
all the vital stuff.
There's your first mistake. You didn't say the Scottish play. I have actually been to the Burning Oak. It's wonderful. Nice dials. Yeah, I need to fix that whole radio bit there. Wonderful. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, no, I think that's our show, everyone.
I believe it's the show.
Amazing. So we've
I
got
feel like I should end on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference. there. Yu-Gi Boy.
time to banish this stream to the Shadow Realm. I didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Growing up. I don't know any of the references.
Oh no! Don't worry. Don't watch
Robyn
it
just being
now.
like, just stay in your lane.
No, it's more like I can't do that to you. There's so much lore. There's so many options, and they're all terrible. Yeah, the Shadowrun wasn't meant for the dub. In the original, he just straight up killed people.
Yeah, they
they
just
straight
died.
up died. He just killed a lot of people. Anyway, this has been so much fun. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for
stream and
jumping
chat.
on.
And
It's been wonderful.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just need to make more stuff. Clearly, that's the
We do.
yeah.
The Fund Audio Drama team. If any of you have friendly billionaires, because they need to be billionaires if they're going to fund this. But yeah, if any of you have friendly money havers, please do get them to fund.
Robyn, where can people find you? What else can people hear you in?
Oh, what can you hear me in? A very weirdly viral TikTok that's currently happening and blowing up my mentions.
Oh, really?
I did a silly TikTok where I was playing with a contact juggling ball in the manner of Jareth. I should have known what I awakened. But yes, no. Where can you find me? You can find me on social media generally. I am around on TikTok and Instagram. For some reason, I'm still on Twitter. God knows why. Mostly for my audio drama work. You can hear me in this great show called Camlan. I'm not sure if you know about it. So
Camlan?
yeah, you can hear Camlan. But also Eternal Strands is a video game that is coming out in Q1 of next year. I am voicing the lovely Lane, and if you like Camlan, you will absolutely love Eternal Strands. So that. Oh no, I've just broken my sleeve garters. I was playing
Oh
with them and now they're
no!
broken. Tragic. Okay. No. So you can hear me in Camlan. What else can you hear me in? I do lots of audio books. So if you Google me or look me up on Audible, you can have me read you to sleep with various things.
Oh, I've been listening to a
Yes.
book that you did the audiobook for.
Oh, is it
can't-
Our Wives Under the Sea?
It is All Our Wives Under the Sea. It's really lovely. I love
Mm.
it. It's great. It's exactly my kind of like weird. It's
I was
great.
going to say that's if you like sort of queer slight horror, Lovecraftian vibes. Oh, Wives Under the Sea is a great one. And yeah, that's a dual narration. So I narrate one of them, and then there's a lovely lady who sent me a message on Instagram going, "Hi, you're my wife in this book." I'm like, "Hi, wife." It's great. It's great. We do message each other, and I message authors generally. I sort of drop them a message saying, "Thank you for letting me read your book," and often they're just so lovely. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Delightful. Oh, okay. So, what date is it? What date is it next week? What's next Monday? Is that anything? It's the 23rd. Okay. So, Monday we'll be back doing more of this. We'll be editing track 4, potentially track 5, depending on how quickly we get through it. We're halfway through. Like I still think we can make the end of September as the finish. Although I was chatting to Ross today about a potential like launch, when we're going to do like a launch stream. So I think next month we'll have ADDQ, and then the launch stream. Will Robyn come back sometime? I don't know, Robyn. Will ye no come back again? Amazing. Well, if anything else, we will have you back for the we'll have Robyn's got. Oh no, no. Right. Sorry. I don't think people heard that.
Oh, tragic.
Sorry, I changed scene, completely forgetting the audio would change. But basically, what they said was that they will come back.
Yes, sorry, my internet's funky. Yeah, no, I will come back whenever you want me, whenever you'll have me. I do need to go now because my phone's died, which means that I have no more internet.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. It's just my internet's terrible. But yeah, it's so lovely. Which is just me saying that whenever I'm always happy to be here. Whenever you'll have me, I'll be here.
Amazing. Well, we will definitely have you back at some point for more of this, because it's nice to have other people on stream. It means I get to talk less and I get to work more, which is kind of fun sometimes. But
And I talk so much. I'm
you're
so
a voice
sorry.
actor. It's what you're supposed to do.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe it's that undiagnosed ADHD. Who knows?
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps. It's not like I've been on a waiting list for 3 years. And on that note,
we'll be back on Monday, same time, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern, doing more of this, editing more Hello Earth. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And
have a lovely day, team. And if you are anxious, there's always tomorrow. Much love.
Much love. Good night, everyone.
Bye.